I'm gonna go live and random thoughts, and I'm gonna put it. It's gonna be about maybe two things I'll talk about for sure. Is like the shutdown and being curious of getting paid when payday comes or not. And then number two would be how we are comfortable with telling others how much we appreciate them, but we won't bring those that are in the same position that makes the job harder and won't complain about that. Something like that. I'll get it together. So I'm going to put it on the picture part, I think, if I can, with just the picture is, so I can just take my clothes off and get and get ready for bed, and just talk like that and do my live because I know I haven't been feeling well lately, and I'm going to get as much rest as I can. And plus, pimping ain't easy. All right, I did it. I did it. I wonder what this other button is for. I'm scared to push it right now, but I'll push this one. All right. Okay, it's still going. It's like 1:18 in the morning here, my time. But I want to get ready for bed. Um, so I wanted to talk about the shutdown from my perspective, and it's a bit confusing to me for the reason being, I know we've been having little shutdowns, every now and then in the past few years or whatever, but it seems like before each payday, it always comes back before something, before like payday is missed or something like that. And for those that, live paycheck to paycheck like me, it's a big deal for me. It can be a big deal, but I know how to adjust myself and get through and make it through, if something like that was to happen, you know, how to make contact with people and put things off, if I had to write letters. So I went in, today is my Monday, today is Wednesday. It's now Thursday, but I, work on Wednesday is my Monday. And I went in and I'm like, where's the letter? So that I can alert my creditors. If it, I'm thinking the way the world and the news and the, things I see online is talking about the shutdown like it's a real full-fledged shutdown. And the reason I say that, I haven't looked anything up. I'm just going by what I have been through in the past. I remember, I don't know if I was working at an army hospital or a veterans hospital, but I remember a shutdown, and I don't know what year it was. And most of my jobs have been an essential worker. So I don't know where I was. I know, say, for example, if I was in a cold state like Baltimore, you have essential workers that can only get through in extreme weather. If you had, it used to be like mm, a red mark on your ID, or something that says essential. And or like in Orlando, that was for the cold weather during when the rain, the snow, not the rain, but the snow, the ice, and certain, engineering sometimes had to come out and get you or something like that. Or like in Florida, I remember in Orlando, same thing. You had to have the badge, your ID, you had to show essential, and then you had to get to your work location um, before a certain time. And if you was on the road, you had to be essential worker, and you had to have that badge that said essential. But so here, I'm not sure what in the world is going on. My goodness, at my job, and I'm here in somewhere, and I'm like, I don't know what the world is going on. So back in the day, I remember going longer than, I don't know if it was one pay period, two pay periods, or whatever, and we didn't get paid. They always pay you back pay in the government. Whatever you lost, you're going to get it all at one time if you don't get paid. So they will ask me, were you essential? And I can't, most of my jobs, I was essential, working in the ER, working somewhere in the hospital. It's always been in the hospital most of the time. So um, I don't remember why we didn't get paid. So I must have been I don't know. I worked so many different jobs within the hospital system. I have no idea. I do remember not getting paid and getting paid a lump sum. So anyway, somebody showed me something on their phone, and they was like, uh, "You're going to get paid. You're one of those workers that's going to get paid, working at a VA hospital. You know, I don't know. It said something else. It had a bunch of things. I was looking on somebody else's phone. They didn't know what website it came from that the person sent them to. They just let me read that part. And then I asked another person. They said, "Yeah, we're going to get paid." So I'm like, do I believe these people and get rid of my money and start paying stuff? Or I'm scared to pay stuff, just in case I don't get paid. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and I think I'm gonna take their advice. I'm kind of scared too, but I guess I'll take their advice, or I don't know, maybe look something else up. And then I heard someone else say that only Congress is getting paid or something like that. I don't know. I need to look it up myself and stop assuming. But and that's just one thing I was randomly thinking about, and I wanted to talk about today. You know, and let's see. Another thing, the other thing I wanted to talk about was something that's a bit annoying, and I spoke up about it before, but I really spoke up about it recently. Is that, it's one, I mean, it's okay. When people come up to me and say, "I'm so glad you're here," um, other people that are in the same position as you, sometimes it's people that um, people can't relate to, that can do the same thing you do, or they act like they cannot do some of the things that you do, or they don't know how to do them. And, certain staff members get tired of that type of behavior. So I always ask people, if we get into deep conversations about that, I say, number one, um, I appreciate you saying what you're saying. Um, you're thankful for the things that can get done when we're together. But I think it's unfair to me when somebody does that to me. I'm starting to, and I've always been like, this is annoying, because I'm going to do what I have to do anyway. But this is annoying to me. And I've taken a lot of heat for it, for going, it's not even going out of my way. It's because of the education and training that I have had. And I just do what I do the way I do what I do. Um, you know, I have quite a bit of experience under my belt or whatever, in work in many different departments and alongside many different people. But it's not fair. For example, I can only talk about me, to have people come and say, and I appreciate it. I love it, when you come to me and say, thank you and I appreciate you so much, but then in the same breath, put others down. When others are not doing their jobs, but you don't speak and document and turn in those people, so that they can get the proper training, get awareness, and learn how to do their job, and not say to you, that's not my job, or I don't know how to do that, or try everything they can in every which way to not do what needs to be done without a headache, something like that. You know, it's just so frustrating to watch that. But not only that, um, well, another side of that is some people actually do complain. Some people do, um, let it be known that they're having hard times with certain individuals. And the frustrating part is nothing it seems like nothing is being done to those people, or those people are not being held accountable, or those people are not being trained properly, because the same things keep happening over and over and over and over and over. Duracell battery again, right? So I get it. I get it. It's like, why even complain when you know nothing is going to be done to these type of people? But for me, I just have to speak up and say, I'm tired of hearing it. Like, I don't want to hear the praise that you give me. um, I just let it be known, because I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. It may seem that I'm over the top in doing what I do, because I know how to do what I do, but I've taken a lot of ridicule for that. I've been tried, you know, been hurt behind that, and tried to be stopped for that, and you know, don't do this for this person, don't do that for these people, or how do you know how to do this? How do you know how to do that? All types of stuff, all types of stuff. Even had to, defend myself because things turn sour, because I won't listen to those with bad behaviors, um, because I do what I do. I am who I am, and I don't conform. And it's just a hard situation all the way around. But I wanted to talk about this and bring awareness to this, because it's something serious where I understand and see how hard it is for people to talk about how they really feel about some people that may be popular, some people that they they may know certain things outside of the work, like who's sleeping with who is related to someone else by relationship, or somehow something got to be going on, or who's doing, I don't know what with what or who, you know. And that's another reason why it could be, people could hold back from um, being honest about putting their foot down on bad behaviors and things of that nature. And it becomes hard when, I don't know how to explain it. Like, these people gain favor by um, just being the popular kid on the block, type person. And or then they display the bullying tactics towards other people, which make the group laugh, you know, or just all of those type of things. But what keeps coming to my mind is, I don't have that book anymore. I need to buy it again because I didn't finish reading it. I don't know what happened to it. Is The Gift of Fear by Gavin D. Becker. And in that book, he talks about keeping these type of employees around. Um, Whether you keep ignoring the bad behaviors, you keep ignoring the severe mistakes, you keep ignoring the complaints from the co-workers, you keep ignoring the complaints from patients that come in, you keep ignoring all these type of things from these type of people, regardless if they are your family members, regardless if they are someone you have intimate relationships outside of the workplace. These are the most dangerous people that you let keep getting away with the same bad behaviors, will turn into your postal, what did they call them back in the day when the postal workers were going postal. These are seriously the ones to watch out for. These are the ones that will go cycle on you. And you know I would be afraid if, just like, I would just have to take extreme precautions. I understand, like, not taking extreme precautions on them because they are truly dangerous. There's something mentally wrong, and people know this, and they just stay away from them. They just go to other people to try to get things done. But it gets frustrating when you have to write up things, and it's horrible. It's horrible. But people are starting to speak up a little bit more, which is good. Once you find out why do you want to speak up, you start seeing other people speaking up, and it's not with the other people that are speaking up, that can speak up with you, is not through anger and hostility and raising your voice, or with extreme attitudes. It's done in a dignified manner. Like, we can talk about things that are different. We can say what we disagree on, and I don't agree that you should do things this way, or I think that you should take action because you have the keys and the knowledge to get this part of the job done so I can complete another part of the job. And if you do that, I can do this, and then we can get something done for the end result that needs to be done without harm to anyone. And a lot of times it seems like that could be easy if you have the right crew that you're working with. And if you just have the wrong behaviors and the wrong people you're working with, it's not going to get done smoothly as that. I mean, it's already hard when people that are willing to come together and do their part in those difficult situations, but it just becomes such a yucky problem when those that give pushback or try to act the fool like they don't know what's going on, or they don't want to learn what's going on, or they only, if they did know, they would only do it for those that they feel as though they want to see accomplish something good within the workplace environment, and someone that they don't want to tarnish their, you know, I don't know. But I guess the main thing after talking it out like this is being able in your environment, and I think this can go for any type of relationship, whether it's a business, workplace, intimate, family, neighborhood, any type of relationship. If you can come together with different ways of doing things, and if you don't agree with somebody's way of doing something and you're totally different, it's like, how do you come together in unison? But those that you cannot depend on, those that are preventing you from doing your job or going ahead to get further in what you're doing, it must be, in order to continue to succeed, you have to get rid of that toxic fruit. And it can't be done by continuing to lean on people, the good people out of that group. For example, if you have someone that works in Title A, those people, and then someone that works with Title B, but Title A has a few individuals that won't help Title B get their job done. If you never complain about them or document or show the deficiency with Title A, then those that are higher up and can do something about Title A, nothing never happens. But if when you do complain, you can't complain by yourself. You have to show that you complain and make it known that you complain, so that everyone else that is having that similar problem, because you already know that there's so many more that are having that similar problem with Title A, the more that open their mouths, the more Title B, Title C, Title D groups that open their mouths about Title A and how bad their behaviors are, something at some point will have to get done. At some point, somebody is going to say, yeah, I know we always say nothing never happens. I know we always say this is the way it's always been. And this is how it's always going to be. You know, I know we always say, that's just the way it is. Oh, well, you know, at some point, when do we stop doing that? At some point, when do we stop being the norm and try something different? Or at some point, when do we all come together and stop whispering about the bad title A? You know, you don't have to yell at them. You don't have to fuss at them. You don't have to be indignant, arrogant, none of that. If Title 8, B, C, D, E, K, element of P come together and start doing the same thing when it comes to bad behaviors that you know that you're not getting your job done, and writing it up and documenting and writing it up on a consistent basis, even especially when it's tired. I did that already. Do it again because it happened again. Do it again because it happened again. Do it again because it happened again. With details, time, date, name, bystanders, and write it up. Eventually, someone is going to step in and make a change. That's my random thoughts for today. Peace.